ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
We're live.
We're live.
What's going on, guys?
You keep asking me
What's
that.
up? I'm Jeremy.
I'm Macey.
We're here live this morning. It's a little mornings.
I get my coffee.
Mornings with Macey and Jeremy today.
Yeah, I'm repping Jeremy's.
It's gonna be flipped. Wait.
Oh.
There you go. There you go, guys. Macey's drinking her coffee this morning. We can make this bigger. She's representing the brand today.
Rose.
Yeah. So what's up, guys? So a little bit different format today. A little different deal for you guys. We're going to.
What time is it in Australia right now?
It's nighttime.
Oh, really?
I think it's like midnight there, isn't it? It's pretty late.
How's your exams? They were awesome. I crushed them. I'm done.
Yes.
I'm so happy. So now I have to take my HESI exam to get into the nursing program.
Yep.
Which is
You're all set.
I have this where'd my book go? Oh, it's way over there. I have a huge HESI book that I have to accomplish here now.
Yes. Yep.
But
So
thank
what's up?
you. Hello.
Hudson, Kim, Casey, Kathy, Barb, Dawn, Tam, me, Arian, Dawn,
Just watching your
Angela.
video. Oh,
Perfect.
Woo-hoo.
Good deal.
Thank you. What time is it in Canada right now?
They're an hour ahead of us.
So it's like 11:30.
No, it's like 9:30.
Jeremy, they're ahead, so that means it's 11. They're behind us, which is 9:30.
9:30 there. What's up, Lynn?
Hey,
Stacy.
Behind. Hello.
She's new. Well, welcome to the channel.
Welcome.
You're very welcome. Glad you enjoyed it. Watching while I work. Don't tell my boss. Naughty. Yeah, don't naughty. Perfect. 11.
See?
They are.
Yeah, that makes sense why I said ahead of us.
That makes more sense. Yeah. All right.
We have like a little bit like country jam.
Yeah. I don't know if they heard any of that.
Oh. You turn on?
No, I don't think so. Nursing school's hell. Yeah,
that's what
rough.
I've
It's rough,
heard.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
kinda
gonna be
nervous
tough. I'm gonna learn a lot about nursing. I got a feeling. I'm my honorary degree is what I'm working on.
I'll be like, what do I do here?
Yeah. I don't know if they're getting double mics or not. It says Yeti mics. We'll mute that one. Let me know if you guys can hear this okay. We'll play.
Crazy echo.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're getting double mics. Yep. So that's should be fixed now. New setup, right? We're using the iPhone now. I downloaded a new app. So that should be better. Let me know. Yeah, watching from work.
Better.
Awesome. Yeah, wasn't echoing outside. Perfect. Very good. So they heard all that. That was good. They didn't miss it.
Good. They
That's
didn't
good.
miss the country jam. I was like,
That's
hey,
right.
get down fiddling, get down, go.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody's gonna be watching from work today. Naughty.
Naughties.
Don't tell your bosses. So we're gonna be going over some videos today.
Yes.
We got some user submissions, some videos that we missed over the weekend, right? So many videos to go over. And then some patterns today. So we've got the patterns for the Show Your Heart Out series that we'll be going over, making sure that we can, everybody's gonna go into that with the best shot possible. Now that show, I don't know if you guys have looked at it, it's mostly walk trot.
Yeah.
They have ranch riding, which would be some loping stuff, but mostly walk trot. So for them, we'll touch base on it, but we'll probably focus on the showmanship stuff, in the ranch riding and touch base on the walk trot stuff. But
Yeah.
it is hard to differentiate yourself in a walk trot class.
Yeah.
It's hard to stand out, right? So if you're missing that piece of your class, it's difficult.
Right.
And then interesting suggestion today by Jennifer.
Oh yeah.
That Macey should run for the APHA Chrome model search deal.
Model search deal. I was like, oh boy.
So if you guys would vote for Macey, we'll consider it. I'm trying to talk her into it.
I'm so nervous.
I said I'd do it with you.
He's like,
We
I'll
go
do it
text
with
together.
you if you.
There's zero chance you go text by yourself.
I just
so.
I don't want to like do it and then like I would just be embarrassed.
Fear of failure is not something we talk about on this channel.
I know.
We're not about fear of failure. It's all about like just put yourself out there.
You always have a little bit like. I mean, I want to do. I was looking at pictures to post. Thank you.
See, there you go. There you have it.
But I'm nervous.
Oh no.
I have your vote. That's good.
That's what I said. So you got people. Kathy's already voted. She's good to go. I said you have people all over the world. Yeah. See, you have a ton of support.
You guys would vote for me.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, I would so do it, but I'm nervous.
We're gonna see her cheeks turn red in a little bit.
I
She
know.
doesn't get embarrassed very easy.
Thank you guys. It's so
yeah.
nice of you.
So Dawn, that show is online. Let me pull it up. We'll find it.
We will all vote for you. That would be really fun.
Yeah.
I would be like, you'll have to come with me then.
I'll have to have a party in Texas.
I'd be like, well, I'm bringing an entourage, so be prepared. Why be able to like sit with you and watch you judge this class?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Be my ring steward.
Okay, I'll be like.
So here's what we're talking about. This is the show that's coming up. I guess you should probably join the group, huh? Let's join this LaRose Horses. So this is the Show Your Heart Out virtual horse series. We're going to be judging this. This goes on this week. Dawn has a client that might be interested in doing it. You got some competition.
Oh boy. See, I'm nervous already. now I'm done.
Never scared of competition. But yeah, so this is the show. This is, they're from Wisconsin, and this benefits the Heart Equine Therapy Center. So a nonprofit group, I believe. And we're going to be doing a virtual horse show that we're judging. So I believe video submissions are this week. Yeah, this is me. I'm May 3rd. Here we are. How to participate is here, like so. I can post this in the group, in the chat.
Post in the group?
Maybe share in a group. We will share this in the LaRose Horses training discussion group. Right there. So here's where we are. This is what we're gonna be doing.
I'm excited. I think I wanna.
Right.
Wait. If it is walk trot, I could enter in it, can't I?
Seems like a conflict of interest.
Why?
You might have to wait till I'm not judging it.
Why?
I mean, the horse show world, the virtual world is a little bit different now, but
because I could show people.
New rules for everybody. But I would say that
it would be a mess, but
there's no pleasure class, right? So it's just the ranch riding. Yeah, I'd say that's probably a
I pick
conflict
up my
of interest.
3-year-old tomorrow from a trainer. So excited to get him home and start riding. Yay!
Awesome.
That's so awesome.
Awesome. But yeah, so this will be fun. Virtual horse showing is a new avenue for everybody, right? We're all trying different things in this deal. Gonna be tricky. Gonna be very tricky. I think what people don't realize the most about horse showing, especially like for the rail stuff, like a pleasure class or I can't judge my own horse. That seems...
That's true. But I would be riding it.
Corey says there are also walk, trot, lope classes.
Oh, really?
There are.
We only saw walk trot.
Maybe I don't have the show bill for this.
We have
the correct show
100
bill.
pattern entries already. Oh,
That's awesome.
Dang.
Awesome. Kiersey, can you confirm, are there loping classes?
Yeah.
Other than the ranch riding. I didn't see that on your show bill. I don't want to give out bad information. I actually don't even see a show bill.
Yeah.
I'm bad at this.
Maybe when you're not a judge, maybe I can.
Yes. When I'm not judging, yes.
Equitation, horsemanship.
Okay. I didn't submit patterns for those.
The loping ones?
Corey, are you talking about the Show Your Heart Out or the other one? The
other virtual horse
the
show.
other virtual horse show, the all breed virtual horse show has loping classes. And I just got the patterns for those.
When do you judge that one?
Ranch riding English pleasure loping classes. Yeah. That's what I thought. That one is, I'm in another week, I think. Next week.
Okay.
Pretty sure. She just sent me the patterns today.
Okay.
So, so this one would be really good. Really excited about this. The Show Your Heart. Okay.
Really?
All right.
Is it like a different show? Different time?
I don't know. I didn't submit patterns for it.
Well.
Let's get that figured out. Let's get that figured out today. Because I did not submit patterns for equitation or horsemanship loping patterns.
Maybe there's someone else is judging that.
Yeah, she said ranch riding English pleasure loping classes. Kiersey and Corey have got to get their story straight.
I'm confused.
Me too. So we'll be doing those. And like I was saying, virtual horse showing is gonna be a little bit different because you may want to figure that out.
Maybe.
Because in a normal horse show, all right, so here's the advantage to you guys of virtual horse showing versus real horse showing. If you don't like it, redo it.
Yeah, you can just redo a video.
Yeah. If you have a bobble, redo it. Right?
It's really nice.
Put your best foot forward, which is hard to do on show day sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder if they'll have that for the Congress. Because the Congress and the Tom Powers are still on.
Still on.
And I'd be like, I don't think that, how are they going to do that?
I haven't heard anything as far as how that's going to work. Ohio's not open as far as I know. So the power is coming up. It's cheaper, no stall, no haul. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is really nice. And like you don't pay for camping, like a hotel, or anything like that.
Yeah,
or like going out to eat all the time.
Yep. So it's much cheaper. So that's a huge advantage, right? It's Hudson's Jam. Yeah. So all of you guys that have nervous horses at the horse show, fantastic opportunity for you, right? All of you guys that get nervous, Sissy, if Corey or Kirsty, if you guys want to post the show bill, type it in so people can get there, because I actually don't see it on here. So huge advantage to you guys to where you can show your horse and not have to worry about bobbles or nerves or anything like that, because you can just put your best foot forward. If your horse isn't good that day, take a video the next day and submit it the next day. Right? So, yeah, Mary, nobody has.
Yeah, I actually want to try it.
Nobody has. So this is interesting deal that we're going to be going through now. So my advice to exhibitors, if it was me, you guys are getting the inside scoop. If it was my clients, I'm going to tell you guys.
Trainer fees.
Yeah.
True.
I'm going to tell you guys, you know what? Take a video today, take a video tomorrow, take a video Friday, submit your best one.
Right, exactly.
Right? Don't wait till Sunday, because that'll mess me up. That'll be hard. But don't wait till the very end. But I would say take video over a couple days and choose your best one. All right? And then if you wanted to, and this is an avenue that I saw would be interesting, is
awesome.
is to go through and say, take a video. You can't send it to me because I'm judging this one.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't help you on this one. But on future ones, if you're going to like the All Breed Virtual Horse Show, or you're going to some of these other ones, thank you, Kirsty. If you're going to some of these other shows, send the video to your trainer, have them critique it, and tell you got to do this part over.
Right.
So there's certainly an avenue for trainers and exhibitors to still be involved.
What do the videos do for the horse show? It's pouring rain.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem, right? It's been raining here too.
It's awful.
So the videos are due, I believe, Friday or Saturday, and they open today, maybe. Open tomorrow. Kirsty, confirm. So that's a huge advantage. Now, a big disadvantage, all right? Disadvantage for you guys is going along and when you video a pleasure class, all right, whether it's Western pleasure or whether it's English pleasure or hunter on saddle, whatever, I'm going to see so much of your horse. I'm going to see way more of your horse
than I
would in a class.
Yeah.
All right? Because in a class, here you go.
No editing the video.
No editing the video. Yeah, no slowing it down. I'll be able to tell. All right? Yeah. So I'll know if you're slowing that video down. Videos due Sunday night by 8 p.m. Okay, there you go.
I have my own trainer and worked on Showmanship last night. Nice to be able to get back through them and pick the best.
Yes. Something happy with most will be working. Yeah, there you go, Kama. So that's exactly what my advice would be, is pick your best video.
You know, I probably could do showmanship too, because I don't have to be like by the judge with people, you know, I could just be at our own barn doing showmanship.
There you go. There you have it.
You know, I kind of like it because you're not like underneath all that pressure, like people are watching you and you're like you have to do good and
right.
It is kind of nice.
If you mess up, you just
redo it.
Take two.
Take two.
So when you go to a real show, all right. So here we are judging the class. Here's a Western pleasure class. Looks like this. Do we like it or not? All right, and that's all you get. If they slow that back down, they know where I live.
They know where you live.
So if you like it, right, or you got to come back across. You got 20 of these to look at. That's all you get. All right. Versus a real horse show.
The real horse show, it's just you loping and dragging.
And then if you're in the virtual horse show, here's what I get to do. Wait, what was that? Okay. Wait. Okay. Let's watch it again. Okay. There's so much more. You have to be so much more broke, right? For a...
What's the tire requirements? Oh, do you know that?
I don't. I would say probably, and Kirsty can confirm, I would say normal long sleeve. Button down and pants.
Just a nice shirt and jeans, probably.
Might be hard for all of us to get into pants. We've all been chilling in our PJs.
I can't get into jeans. I can't. I have such a hard time.
Take 2 turns into take 3, 4, 5 until it's perfect. Yeah, that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Huge advantage. Got a foot of snow yesterday. Oh no. That's not good. Bonus points. And as a judge, I'm going to say, you know what? That horse is going through the snow. It's going through the rain.
Oh, right there. Oh.
It's going through all that. That's a degree of difficulty, right? If you can put together a good pattern in a foot of snow.
Did a couple classes with Charlie School of Still get the nerves and pressure, at least I do.
No, well, there you go. There you have it.
Yeah, it is nerve-wracking because you are posting a video out there and...
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I guess the video does get posted to Facebook. They don't send it in privately, right?
No, they don't send it privately.
Yeah. So there is that. There's that aspect.
Yeah, the nice thing about like the video though is that you can make sure like it's good instead of like having to like do a showmanship video in like fall.
Yeah.
And everyone's watching you.
I'm gonna need quarantine pants.
Oh, I know. I've literally been wearing the same clothes every single day.
I'll send a snow and mud pattern. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so advantage and disadvantage to that, right? I can replay your class. I can replay your run,
And you can replay.
which is it's gonna be a little bit tricky for people, right? So we can really pick
And
apart
you
those
only get
patterns.
to see it once.
Yep.
You when you're like at the
Yep.
horse show, but now you get to like see it a lot.
Yeah, which is gonna be advantage and disadvantage too, because like before, if you're going along and saying like as a judge, you kind of make first impressions. And it's just a series of first impressions, like it or hate it.
Yeah.
Like it, love it, hate it.
Right.
Don't hate it, right? And you just make that impression. You just
Don't hate it.
go along and you just make snap judgments. For this, you don't have the pressure of making snap judgments, so you start to second guess yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say both, right? It's going to be good and bad.
It's gonna be
It's a
good.
blessing and a curse.
Yep.
It's an interesting avenue for people. I love it for people, and that's the same reason we do this, right? For people that live in remote areas that can't get to big horse shows and show against big competition.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
I also love the ability to have the video so I can talk, of course, to you guys and teach your classes, right?
Right.
So if you're going to have a horse show, how I've always felt is that there should be a verbal explanation for the top 10 placings.
Yeah,
At the
I
very
think
least.
like sometimes they like write like little notes and stuff, but it'd be so nice to know like if the judge sat down and told you why they won.
Yes.
Or like why they didn't win.
Especially for me at big shows. The
Yeah.
Congress, the World Show should have verbal, talk the audience through.
Love
Judging. Love it, don't hate it, disgusting.
Shut
So
it down.
I believe that's +1, +2. We're going to sort those out. That'll be
We should make our own score sheet.
Love it, +3.
Love it, I don't hate it, disgusting,
Yeah.
shut it down.
Yeah. We're going to be here and we're going to go, okay, so this is going to be +3, excellent, also known as love it. +2, very good, pretty good. +1, good.
Whenever you
I like it.
Good.
I like it. Shut it down.
Level 1, shut it down. And then level 2
No,
is just disgusting.
3 points off, shut it down. 2 points. Yeah, we can.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Yeah.
That's so funny.
We can get her sorted out. Please tell someone to shut it down.
Can you imagine?
Oh no.
We'd probably let him cry. It'd be awful.
Yep.
If I
Yep.
was to show yesterday at 10 TV,
You're going to go terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, that'll happen, right? That'll happen.
do a camera on a horse that kind of bring
I would imagine so. Yeah, you have to have the camera on the horse the whole time, so you're going to be videoing it as it goes around. Otherwise, what would be a good idea is to have like
But not me.
a tripod and just load past the tripod. Make your best bet. Just give it your best drag race across there. Just make a pass. If you don't like it, make another pass. Set it back up. Fix it over here. Make another pass. Which is honestly not a lot different than the Congress.
Yeah, you just make a pass. That's all.
Because at the Congress, they all fix on the rail by the stands, and then we all drag race past the trucks.
We do.
We just try to make the best pass
never
past the trucks.
turn around and look.
No.
By like the stands and everything.
The top of the stands, I got a fuzzy
I see
float
that.
on. The top of the stands by the, if you're like, here's the Congress, you're gonna come in this way. If you come along, you look at this side where the audience is, right here in the
Like
top corner,
audience is all right here.
where there used to be the organ guy right here. On this side, if you watch that side, everybody's like this, stopping and backing and loping back off. Like, there's a lot of fixing that happens right there because the judges never turn around.
I saw AQHA World at level 1 classes. Sorry, off subject squirrel.
Yes, AQHA World added level 1 classes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to say it was us that did that.
I think so,
Right? I
too.
think that our discussion that the level 1 championships got canceled and there's nowhere for level 1 to show. Coincidentally enough, a couple days later they announced that
We
level
should
1
all
show
go together. We should all pack up and go.
Yep.
I was planning on making blooper reel once I'm done with the virtual horse shows.
Exactly.
It'd be awesome.
It'd be awesome.
Yes, I wish all judges had.
Give oral reasons like 4-H. Yeah, I
Yes.
think so too.
I think
That's
so
for the
too.
benefit of everybody involved. Because I want to know why at the Congress you have 3 judges, first, second, third, 1 judge, 16th.
Right, yeah.
Tell us why, right? Especially when you have that kind of discrepancy. Tell us why that horse got 15th on one card and first on all the other ones.
No.
All right? I'm very curious to know. I might be going to World now. It's going to be a disaster. Can't think like
We
that.
can all go together. Guys.
Can't lose before you get there. That's not good. The 4-H horse judging in Virginia as a kid, I learned what
Is
judge
the
give
world
reasons. Yeah.
in Texas?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, we should all go. Like I said, I've never been to Texas before.
Don't joke. If you immediately told to shut it down, it's happened. Yeah, it has happened. It has happened. Feel free to tell me to shut it down. Remote area is the best thing that ever happened. I agree. So it just like this, right? The ability to reach as many people as we can through this deal.
Right.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage. Heads like world's being held. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Very good.
It'd be weird like going to a horse show like now because you guys won't be able to like go to eat. Like, you know?
It's your favorite part. Of course, Macey would be like, but what are we gonna do for food?
But no, it'd be weird. Like everything would be shut down.
What about the food?
But you know what I'm saying?
You can get it to go.
Well, I know, but it'd just be weird. Like we all go as like a little entourage. We go to eat. You know, like that'd be weird, right? And
Oklahoma for the AQHA. Oklahoma. That's right.
Oh.
Oklahoma City.
I've been to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Been to Tulsa, like the Oklahoma. City.
Tulsa, yeah.
Tulsa.
Yeah, Oklahoma City. Yeah, quarter world's.
Yeah, like that'd be so weird. You know, like what if you had to show a mask?
Nah. I feel like you're distanced. I mean, you're inside though.
You're inside.
Shows like that, you are inside. You
and
may
like
have to wear
people
masks.
are all close. I'm just wondering.
Yep. Cookouts in the RV lot. Yeah, see?
That'd be perfect.
We'll all haul our grills out and we'll be 6 feet apart with
We can
masks
make
on.
shish kebabs.
We can eat underneath our masks.
I have to wear like whenever I wear my mask, I go take a drink. I just like hit my mask and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta throw my cup away.
Uh-huh.
It's awful.
Yep. We
But
tried
that's
chewing
weird.
gum under our mask once.
Yeah, we were
That
like,
was
we
bad,
put our
yeah.
N95 mask on and we were like, oh, our breath stinks.
I was like, oh, I'm trapped in my own funk.
So
right
we
here.
grabbed gum and that was the worst idea in the world. I was like, now I just gotta suck on my gum.
Uh-huh. Pretty much.
It was awful.
Hands down, going out to eat with everyone was my favorite parts of the show. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't that
Yep.
be so weird? Like, you won't be able to do that.
Yeah. With 4 judges, one judge could have seen the horse break and the other did not see it. I would be inclined to believe that. How at the Congress though, in the finals of the junior or the green,
got an itch.
didn't happen.
Itch right there.
The finals of the junior or the green probably didn't happen, right? Thoughts on Pinot World Show still happening in June? Ooh.
I can't believe it's actually happening.
Can we bling our masks? Yeah, exactly.
That'd actually be kind of cute.
Uh-huh. Bourbon chicken, I know, right?
Oh, from the Congress, the bourbon chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the bourbon chicken.
No qualifying for Worlds means a free-for-all for everyone. It'll be interesting.
It will be super
It'll be
interesting.
interesting.
We should do that.
It'll be different.
I don't understand how the Pinot World's still happening. I mean, maybe it's just warm enough.
Did Oklahoma open up? Do we know? Does anybody know? Was Oklahoma one of the states that opened up?
Okay. I don't know.
So U.S. states opening up. Some CNN.
Yeah, who knows about that?
Questionable source, but we'll see what they say. Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana. Let's just do this. Oklahoma allowed some businesses to reopen on April 24. 3 phases. Personal care, business.
Will reopen the following week, May 1st. Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Sporting venues.
Oklahoma never really shut down. I
Yeah.
guess not.
Yeah, so they're saying sporting venues will be open the following week, May 1st. So yeah, I mean they might get it done. What about Ohio? May 1st, April 16th, first phase. A few weeks at a time.
Still on? I think so.
The governor has to approve large gatherings. Yeah, as far as I know, the Paint World's still on. Not Fort Worth. Texas. Texas, I don't think closed down. They opened up. My stepsister lives in Texas.
Yeah, and she said they're opened up.
So all retail, restaurants, movie theaters, malls, museums, and libraries are open, but must limit to 25% of list occupancy. So how does that work? Right? I don't know. Iowa never really shut down. We haven't peaked, but we're opening up again. Yeah. Lynn, possibly, yes. Possibly. Probably, most likely not. We'll see. Problem is other states are going to stay at home, won't let them come out to show. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, if we're in Michigan, we're completely locked down.
Yeah, and they said, like, if you travel, you have to be quarantined for, like, 14 days.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be allowed to travel? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen.
And then would you be allowed to come through some of those states that are quarantined on the way? Or would you get stopped? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
At least not, like, I haven't heard anything about, like, in Michigan, we're pretty locked down. We're very locked down.
We couldn't even paint.
Our governor has been very strict about lockdowns, and I have never once heard of anybody getting arrested or ticketed for anything. And I travel across the state a lot.
You do, yeah.
So, we were on the roads a lot, and we drive around and bored, and Macey sneezed.
Oh my gosh!
So I've not seen anything getting ticketed. I've seen a lot of police, but nobody gets pulled over. I think everything will be out by October, November. At least I hope so. Yeah, that's the hope. Saving Grace Pino's been on 2-4 weeks, spreads out. Yep.
It is pretty spread out. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
And I mean, in the arenas, if everybody can just put a seat between them, maybe.
I just don't see like those shows holding that like many people.
Yeah.
Like the powers and all that stuff. Like a lot of people go like Pinot Worlds, Paint Worlds, like Congress. Like that's a lot of people there.
Yeah. Yep. And I haven't heard anything about.
I'm hoping though.
Ohio, Wisconsin, talk about arresting people in groups. Yeah, groups more than 10 people, right? I don't know. No idea what'll happen. I was very confident that shows up until May would be canceled. Very confident. I think I told Katrina. She asked me about the challenge or whatever that was going on for her lunch liner, and I said not a chance. Okay. But if we're talking July, August, those shows might be able to run. I
think so. I think it should be at least under control. I don't know. We have a bunch of nurses on here. Is it bad out there?
Yeah, for all of our healthcare workers that watch this.
I said we're just like, blah, 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 and they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Can we get some healthcare workers that are like, this is terrible, there's no chance?
We talked to
respiratory
therapist like 2 days ago. We messaged him, and he said it is serious. He said make sure you wear your mask and stuff, but not as much as like what they were expecting.
Yeah, nowhere near the surge that they said. I mean, New York got hit hard. Those people are stacked on top of each other in subways and stuff. I get that, but other states doesn't seem to be as bad. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to think.
Yeah. Any nurses on here, let us know.
Yeah. Travel from North Dakota to New England, Texas, and Georgia because of necessities. No border patrol, don't get pulled over. Yeah. Yep. Wisconsin continued protest in groups, so it's questionable. Yeah, they had the protest here in Michigan, too.
They had the protest here in Michigan, yep.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Until then, we have virtual horse shows. We have virtual horse shows, and you have us. So we are here. We can get back on track. It's 11 o'clock already.
Yeah, I know.
We just chat for
where you are.
Yeah. I fly around if you're positive, Nashville. Yeah.
No, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Or they're testing antibodies because a lot of people got this months ago. I was very sick.
Yeah.
In January.
Yeah.
Very sick. I missed like 2 weeks.
He could barely like get from his desk to his bedroom. He's like, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I would do like 30 minutes on the computer and I'd be like, I gotta lay down.
Like, what is wrong with you?
I was very sick for like 5 days.
Yeah.
It was a while. It was the sickest I've been in a long time.
Yeah.
So I had a flu.
I'd love for you to get the antibodies test.
Yeah.
See what happens.
People in Nova Scotia getting ticketed for being groups. All of our principals are shut down. Yeah. Besides no restaurants,
the weirdest thing in the world.
No hotels. Yeah, hotels would be a problem. Found out Monday we can now send out IgG tests for COVID antibodies, so it's real. Yeah. Yep. Ugh. It's been here longer than they care to admit. I have a feeling as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's been here a lot longer too. I have a feeling
as well. Yeah, because I mean, I was sick and then you got sick. Yep. Who knows? Same in March, couldn't breathe, felt like my chest was closing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I coughed a lot.
Yeah.
I coughed a lot. That was late. It was middle to late February, because I was just starting to feel good. So I was going to propose to Macey, and we were going to go skiing, but I was like, there's zero chance I can go skiing. I'm too sick to go skiing, so I canceled it and pushed it back a couple weeks, and we got engaged on February 29th. So would have been like right around Valentine's Day. I was very sick.
You were super, super sick.
Yep.
I remember because we made steaks, and you were just starting to feel better.
Yep. What did we do? Oh, we ate. We ate steaks. That's right. Your life is just one meal to the next. Oh, yeah, that was the day we had steaks. And then we had chocolate smoothies and we made brownies.
And then we made those chocolate strawberries.
Chocolate strawberries, yeah. Yep.
I keep hearing. Really sick back in January, but who knows, it's been here for a while.
Yeah.
I think it's been here for a while.
Really sick back in January. Yeah, that was me middle February.
Stick horsemanship, that should be mandatory for all our... That should be so much fun.
Now my followers ought to crush a stick horsemanship, because you guys all know about loping and rocking back, and like our horses should be like pleasure style stick horses.
They should have like pleasure. And
absolutely. January 21st, my oldest kid came sick. My husband and my baby and me is 2 weeks. The whole house. Yeah. Oh. Yep. That's exactly what we experienced.
Yeah, that's what we did too.
Yep. I don't know. We'll never know. I'm sure we'll never know. News doesn't help us make things very intense. Yeah,
the news is like intense. It's just so hard to like know what to believe. That's why I was like, if we have any nurses on here and they like know the truth.
Yeah,
like,
if we have people like in the hospitals that are like, I don't know, we got nothing going on. They cancel all the elective surgeries and we're just making TikToks all day, which is what it seems like. Then I would be curious to know. Don't joke, how to judge sick horse class could be chaos. I am sure.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
All right. You want to start?
Yeah, we can start. We can go ahead and start. So here we are. Oh, this was the model search thing. There you go. Macy wants to be the next star for Chrome.
Maybe.
So let's see if I can pull this up. We'll start with Showmanship. Yep, start with Showmanship. So here we are. Fairly straightforward pattern for this one. So I always tell people all the time, the simpler so patterns go one or two ways. They either go very technical, right? And
oh, your name's at the bottom. I didn't see that.
Because I'm the judge. There I am.
Because it's me. So weird. Jeremy.
That's my name.
Jeremy, that's your name.
Right. So we have two different styles of patterns. You have ones that are very tight, very technical, a lot of elements. And in those types of patterns, as a judge, what I can find out and I can learn about your horse is that your horse and you are very broke.
Real quick. Of all people who are watching it now, give us a hands up if you're going to be showing this pattern. Like, are you in the show? Like, are we going to be judging you guys? I want to know how many people are like...
She said they had a lot of entries. Yep.
I just want to know if any of them...
Only OB patients, ER mostly. Most numbers moved. Patients in nursing homes. Agreed. Most have already had it immune. Yeah, this isn't... Yeah. Yep, I agree, Tammy.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So we're here. This pattern, fairly straightforward. So what I want to see in this type of pattern is...
I thought about it.
Is I have more time, because it's a simpler pattern, I have more time to evaluate you as a showman.
Right.
All right? And that's the biggest thing. So if I have a pattern that's got a lot going on, right?
With her quarantine fish. Oh my gosh, there's some people.
Yeah. So if I have a pattern that's very tight, very technical, I'm evaluating that horse and rider exhibitor combination. Are they broke, right? So the more going on in your pattern, the more your horse has to be broke to get through. Because I'm going to see all the bobbles, all the times your horse lifts his head up or gets freaked out about things and doesn't nail the maneuver, right? Good morning, Gracie. Have a great day.
Thank you.
But then if we have a pattern that's more open, right, with less going on, I have more time to evaluate you as an exhibitor.
Right.
All right. So
find this show online.
Michaela, it is in the LaRose Horses training discussion group. And if you go through the comments and go back to Kirsty's comment, she shared it. Yep. So bigger wide open pattern, you have to be a better rider.
Right.
You got to be a prettier rider. A more technical pattern, more tighter, more things going on, you and your horse have to be more broke. Right? So that's always kind of the test. What I want to say, my advice to exhibitors, is that I want you to have a clean pattern first and foremost. All right? And this is my personal preference. I don't like seeing people that are perchy, right? That are like, well, I'm here and I'm super stiff, right? I want it to be natural, all right? As a horseman myself, as a horse trainer, and I think it's going to appeal more to the style of judges that are horse trainers also, that are also horsemen. I want to see someone who's functional and balanced with their horse and using their horse. And if you have to slow down because your horse is a little bit slower, that's being a good showman to me, all right? So I'm not necessarily going to look down on that. If you need to adjust, if I'm watching a pattern, I go, they probably should bump their horse, right? The horse is trying to come up and leave the bridle. If you grab a hold of it and you kind of come back in place, I am honestly probably going to reward that.
That's what I had to do with Marley. Like, Marley was a little bit slower.
Yep.
So I had but I like to be slower too. So, like, we had to slow everything down. But it wasn't, because if I tried to go out there and I, tried to, push her really, really hard, it just would have been a mess.
Up.
It would have been a mess. Like, she would have came by the bridle and she would have just stopped.
Yep. So, I mean, you have a list of boxes, right? And you always have a degree of difficulty for every maneuver. And obviously, the harder and faster you can go through that pattern, the higher degree of difficulty.
Well, yeah,
But it comes a point where, okay, now you're going too fast for your horse. You're overriding your horse. And I'm going to frown on that. I'm going to punish that, right? So it's all about finding that fine line where how can I push that horse? I can share this.
Is this the one showmanship pattern that's supposed to be?
This is showmanship, yeah.
Jill, do they have one pattern? This is for everyone?
This is children and senior, open children and senior. Like, not novice. Let me see if I can pull up more patterns. We'll go to the Show Your Heart Out. So here's where I'm pulling patterns from. Here. All right, so here's tiny tot, showmanship, novice, children and senior, regular children and senior. This is in the Show Your Heart Out virtual horse show.
I love it.
Yep.
I should have Rip do the tiny tot.
Yep. All right, so we're here. We'll start with the. I guess we start with the novice. That's fine.
Okay.
Should be easy.
So if you guys are the novice, then this is.
Let me open Photoshop. So again, this like patterns like these, right? A simpler pattern, so I have more time to evaluate you. Now this one's a little bit tricky because you're gonna start with a back into a 180. So I'm always gonna see like, if you, 2 keys to this pattern, you gotta be able to back straight, you gotta be able to turn straight, all right? So if you overshoot your turn, I'm gonna know, right? Now that being said, if you back and you don't give your horse a chance to set his weight on that foot, and you rush him, he's gonna slide out through that turn, right? And you're gonna come into me crooked and that line's gonna look like this, all right? So that's why I always advise people all the time.
Register for the novice, senior, showmanship, yay! Yep.
Awesome.
Your open pattern was hard for us in practice yesterday.
Oh yeah, you guys should know. I'm gonna pick some challenging patterns for the open, right? Like I wasn't gonna go easy on you guys. So do you have to show a course? No, this one's open for everybody.
Yeah, it's whatever horse. Yep.
Where'd you like the camera in front of the judge? Yeah, so for the showmanship, it's gonna be at the judge's perspective. And then for the pattern stuff, it's a bit of a...
Isn't it just from like the side?
Yeah, it's hard because like you have to take into account camera frame, right? I mean, that's obviously something we worry about a lot, but I think Kirsty talked about it too. So lead lines take from the middle, obviously. Lunge lines from the outside of the circle, yep. Showmanship's where the judge is standing. And then hunters from the middle. Ranch riding, equhorse, which is the best pattern for the whole pattern, or the best angle for the whole pattern, usually the right side. That's a tough one. So Kirsty and I talked about this because if you have the camera, like if you're shooting this way into the long side of your arena, like this, odds are good, if you're doing this pattern, you're gonna be out of frame up here, right? Because you have to imagine the camera frame, and you're gonna be riding somewhere up here. And this is what we run into a lot with user-submitted videos, right? So I said probably the best angle is gonna be like looking down your arena this way, if your arena is long like this, looking down the arena from here and then doing your pattern up in this space. Right. Does that make sense? So do your pattern up here so I can see everything and I have both walls. Right. All right. Now that's not usually the best angle, right? It's harder to see things. It's really hard to see if your lines are straight. So that's, again, small advantage for everybody. This is for everybody. Small advantage, it's very hard to tell if lines are straight going this way, across a frame. All right, it's very easy to tell this way. I have so much view this way.
Do you want the judge to do like the setup, like the walk around?
Yeah, if you have a buddy, and this is like, your camera person can walk around. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the best view would be kind of like 45 degrees to the pattern, but in arenas, that's usually hard because it's a wall. Right. So you usually can't get back far away enough to get wide angle enough to see that. So usually when a judge is judging a pattern, they're sitting in the middle of the arena, and they're watching the pattern happen like out here somewhere, all right? So that would be great, but my fear is, as someone who does a lot of camera work, you would be very much out of frame, like you would go to do a circle and you'd be out here somewhere, and you wouldn't see you for the top of your circle.
From the side, just have the real show images.
Because most of the time, our field of view as people is much wider, and I can turn my head, right? So if you don't have a camera person,
so it records you.
Yeah, if you have a camera person, no problem.
Yeah.
Right? Judge it from the side, right? Usually, if you're standing at the cone, judges are over to the left. Right? So right there, judging the pattern going this way. But if you don't have a camera person, I'm just thinking of people that have tripods or whatever. And stationary camera is going to be very hard. Yep. So if it's a stationary camera, you have to be far enough away that you don't ride out of frame. And that's something you got to play with when you do your pattern.
You have to play with that.
One of the unique challenges of an online horse show, right?
Yep.
So going to these patterns right here, we have a novice, children, and senior, things to watch out for, things that I'm going to be looking for, right? As the judge, things that I'm going to be able to see. If we go into Photoshop, right here.
Into the Photoshop.
And look, I even fixed this, so now we can draw again.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. So we're going to be here. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Let's make this a little bit harder. We can go here. All right. So now, things to watch out for in a pattern like this. Camera's gonna be here, right? This is your judge. Here I am.
Yep.
Okay? So my field of view for this is gonna be like this across here. So this line, very important that you get that line straight.
Right.
Okay? Because especially in a camera, I shouldn't be able to see your horse's hind feet. Right? So if you come out of this turn crooked, okay? Biggest thing here is when you go to back, what I see people crowd their horse. right? So you're here like this. This is why we set up our showmanship. We do the very precise steps, right? So when you do your loop around to back up, stay out here. Here's your horse's line right through here, right? Stay out here so that you can back alongside him straight.
Right.
This is the biggest problem that I see in showmanship, is that people don't back alongside their horse straight. What I see people mostly do, if this is the midline of your horse right here, most commonly what happens is people come through, they go to swing around, they do this.
Right.
Right? And now I've pushed that horse's line this way.
Right.
I've pushed him sideways. Now I'm going to try to get him back in line, right? That's harder to do. So make sure that you don't crowd your horse. This area right here is crowding.
Right.
So in that hand, if you swing around, you go to back him up and you're in his space and you push him off line, right? You're automatically starting off crooked. So then you're gonna have to recover twice, right? Not only are you gonna have to recover here, when you get backed up like this, you gotta swing back around, but then your horse's body's gonna be crooked as you start your pivot, right? And you're gonna overshoot over here, right? Because now your back end's gonna be out here somewhere, pivoted. Right. And then you start this line really crooked.
It's hard to start from a back to a turn.
It's hard, yeah. And that's why like this pattern looks simple, but this is a really tricky beginning, right? So, and then coming out of that, right? So you're here, give your horse time to settle his foot down. Settle his foot so that you can do a turn and come out of that straight, right? Because a lot of people, if you just fly through that, you blaze through that turn, you're not gonna give your horse a chance to set his foot and you're gonna come out of this crooked.
Yeah,
right?
they usually like slide their foot and then it's just kind of like, woo.
Yep. Because if his hip gets offline over here, right? So if he backs and you're backing and then you get hooked out like that and you go to pivot, you're gonna find yourself on this side of where you started, right? Because look at your horse's body's crooked, right? So that little shift is gonna be a big deal on camera, right? You're really gonna be able to tell if you're crowding your horse or if you're in a bad spot, right?
Bad spot, yep.
So then by the same token, when you go to do this line right here, same exact idea, don't crowd your horse in there, right? So as you come out of that pivot and you go to trot off, you come back around. That's why, again, we do our steps the way we do so that my horse is here and we just go like this and move off, right? So we operate right here and move off. People will go through and they'll have their horse like this and they'll do their pivot, they'll come around, and then they'll go to do their pivot and they'll come out like this and you gotta hook around, right? So it's always two fixes then that you run into because you've now pushed your horse's line over here. So you got to be able to pull him back in line and then pull him back in line. And then you're only straight. Look how little you're straight.
Not very long.
Right? And as a judge, that's something I can absolutely see. How long did you actually spend going straight? Right? Did you actually spend a decent amount of time going straight here? Or were you busy recovering the whole time?
The whole time, yeah.
Right? So that's a big deal to me. Something I'm definitely going to be watching for in this type of pattern. And then, like, again, little exhibitor secret, right? When you go to set up, at least for like in this series, the judge is also the cameraman. So I'm gonna be able to see that horses from the setup, right? But if you can imagine, so this is a little live horse show trick. If the judges are sitting here, right? The setup that this judge sees and this judge sees are very different than the setup that this judge sees and this judge sees. Right? So keep that in mind when you set your horse up. This judge right here can really not tell if your horse's feet are square this way.
Right.
In his back feet, he can't see it all.
No, because his front feet are covering.
So if your back feet look like this, he would have a heck of a time trying to figure that out, right? Because his front feet would be in the way.
Right.
All right? So keep that in mind. In any show that you go to where the judges are sitting in chairs like this, if you guys ever wonder why your placings are so different and your scores for your setup are so different, remember that this judge on the edge sees a very different pattern right here and right here than these two judges do.
Right.
All right? These judges are going to have a hard time knowing if you came perfectly straight onto that judge.
Right.
All right? But keep that in mind, okay? Now, when the judge is the ring steward, then obviously that doesn't count, right? Because I'm going to see a full view of this horse, so your full setup's going to be in view, right? So some of the patterns that have judges that sit in a stationary place. If you ever wonder why you have one that places you third and one that places you seventh, keep that in mind, right? The thing that they see is very different than the thing that somebody sees if you're over here. Look how much more you can see over here. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
On the camera. So if I'm coming across like this, look how much more you see versus this one. You don't see much at all.
You don't see much at all.
Yep. So things to keep in mind, right? Now for this show, obviously it doesn't matter because I'm going to get a full view, right? But yeah, things to keep in mind. Okay. And then when you come out of this pivot, again, if the cameraman stays stationary, kind of hard to tell whether you came out of that straight or not.
Right. Yep.
All right. And again, if you're the judge sitting here, or you're the judge sitting here, or you're the judge sitting here, this judge has a great view of that line.
Yeah.
Right?
But
this judge has a terrible view of that
Yeah.
line. He's gonna have to like turn in his chair
Right.
to try to see that. All
Yeah.
right. So always something to keep in mind. So if you ever like, sometimes it's just very different styles of judging, and the other part of it is you have to consider their perspective.
Right.
Right. So key to this pattern make or break is going to happen right here.
Yep.
Right. This spot will make or break your pattern. Not much to judge elsewise.
Right.
Right. So the trot off, I'm obviously like highest degree of difficulty in this part of the pattern is going to be a pivot to a trot off.
Right.
Right. So to me, the hardest parts of patterns that I want people to understand are in your transitions. Okay. So how does your horse make the transition from here to here? How does he make the transition from setup to turn? How does he make the transition from back to pivot or pivot to walk?
Right.
All right. Or here. Okay. The actual act of doing the maneuver, like the actual act of walking, you can't really tell much. Right. Like you're going to trot off. Most horses can trot off. This part's kind of a given. Right. Or most horses can trot alongside you. I should say that.
Right.
All right. Most horses trot alongside you. So most horses can walk alongside you. Right. So the make or break parts for patterns are always in the transitions between maneuvers.
Right.
All right. So as a judge, what am I really checking here? I'm checking to see, can you go from a setup to a back? Can you go from back to a turn? Can you go from a turn to a walk and come out of it straight?
Right.
Can you go from a setup to a pivot? And can you go from a pivot to a trot?
Right.
So those are the 5 things I'm working on. Right. So again, I don't need to do a pattern. I don't need to practice a pattern at home to do that. And this is where I think people go wrong when they work on patterns. I don't need to do a pattern to know my horse has a problem in the transition.
Right.
So then do you guys understand why I train the way I do? Where it's all about do a maneuver, come out of the maneuver clean. Does my horse come out of the maneuver clean? Can he go from indirect turn to a lope off and keep everything in frame?
Right.
Because that's the stuff I really care about. That's the stuff that shows up in a horse show. Can my horse go from a trot to a lope off clean? Because that's going to determine how my lope goes. Right? So odds are really good if you can't come from a pivot to a trot off. Your horse is going to settle down by the time he gets like here. Right? But it's going to be this area in here that I'm going to be watching for. Where does our exhibitor go wrong? Right? Where is this horse and exhibitor just not on the same page? Okay? And that's going to be true of any pattern that we see. That's why you're going to see my patterns. Typically, the harder the pattern is, the more things they're going to have in them. Right? So if we go, you know what? Things that will be judged in this class. If we go through here, we got one thing that's going to be judged. Here's a pivot. Let's start like this. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, right? 4 is going to be the setup to the pivot, and 5 is right here, and then maybe a stop. And most horses will be able to stop, right? So I'm looking at those 6 things for the most part, right? Other than that, not much oops, too far. Not too much complication stuff going on here. Maybe no landmarks to look at, right? No landmarks to worry about. So what I always have people do is kind of frame on their pattern like that with their eyes, and try to make these distances match. Now here, thankfully, they've given you 2 cones.
It's hard when you don't have any cones.
Yep. The more cones you have, the harder they get. The more cones you have, the easier they get.
The easier they get.
And the fewer cones you have, the harder the pattern is.
Yeah, it is really hard.
Yep. So you have a landmark of the judge to try to stay straight to. You have this to stay straight to. And then this one's a given because if you stop in front of your judge, you're going to be on that line anyway.
You'll be on that. Yep.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Title horse, that head pops into the chin.
So that's going to be fixed by our showmanship that we did yesterday, sending that horse forward. So what you have a problem is you have a problem where when you drive your shoulders forward, that horse's shoulders don't go with you. So what happens is because his shoulders don't go, his chin goes, his neck goes, and he keeps stretching that neck out, and all of a sudden his shoulders going to unlock.
Right.
And that's what you end up with. Right? So you start off here, you start off in your pivot, and you go trot off, and you just bring his nose, he doesn't bring his shoulders, and all of a sudden he goes clink, and then he comes forward with his shoulders. So that's your problem. It's a head pop, it's a shoulder pop. It's a shoulder not coming forward, shoulders connected to the head, so when the shoulders pop up, the head pops up. Right? Send those shoulders forward. You gotta be able to move your shoulders forward. Gotta have control of your horse's shoulders to do showmanship. Okay? Awesome. So those general rules will apply to most of the patterns that we see today, so we can talk about that as we go. And we can work out kind of specifics of patterns like this. So
this
we'll go
is
here.
the open one?
Open one. Okay. Yep. The not novice. How did I do that? Shift. Yes.
So haven't done it in a while. You're rusty.
I know, a little rusty. So we're here. We'll bring this in. Out of here.
Don't call.
We can put this on Do Not Disturb. Won't mess up that stream at all. Just mess up the webcam. Should still be, yeah, we're good. So right here, a little different pattern, a little more technical, right? So I tried to pick patterns that increase in difficulty as we go. Right. So we're gonna start off walk to trot transition, right? So again, think about the transitions that are happening. Walk to trot, or stop to trot, right? Set up to trot, okay? And then stop and back. Now this pattern tests your ability as a exhibitor. Do you know where halfway is?
Line up with the judge. It's terrible.
Do you know where halfway is?
You're like try not to look.
So this is going to be your ability to plant your horse's back end and back foot in line with the judge.
See, I was never good at this. I think that's why I don't like showmanship. Because every single pattern I did was always you have to back 3 horse lengths, 2 horse lengths, and line yourself up with the judge. And I'm always, you can't. Don't look at the judge, just know your steps. I'm like, how are you supposed to know your steps?
Yep. So I'm going to give you an easy way to fix this.
Okay.
So you just need a better trainer. You just need a better trainer, that's all. So we're going to come here.
You are my trainer.
Not for showmanship, I wasn't. Not for showmanship, I wasn't. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have, when you practice this stuff, set yourself up a cone right here. Set yourself up a cone right here.
Okay.
All right? Get used to, and you don't need a horse for this.
Okay.
All right? Get used to learning how to look through a pattern. All right? So in the first pattern that we went over, there's not much to see as far as, let me move this down here. Not much to see as far as, we need to see Macey demonstrate these patterns. Probably will.
No.
That woke you up. You're trying to yawn over there.
Jeremy, no way.
When you practice this, we're going to set a cone right there. All right, so just take yourself, when you go home, you practice this, set a cone right there.
You guys are just listening to me complain the whole time. I'd be like, it doesn't make sense.
I don't want to do this. Yep, she would quit half the video.
I would never quit. I'm not a quitter.
So set yourself a cone right here. All right?
Okay.
Practice going down this line. Trot, 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 stop, back to your right here. Back to that cone.
But okay, here's the thing that I don't understand. They always say back 2 horse lengths. But I feel like wherever you go, whatever horse you go to, is it actually 2 horse lengths? Let's say the horse length. Does it say anything?
No.
Oh.
It's back to even with the judge.
Okay, see, it should be
or back halfway.
2 horse lengths is 8 steps, or
It is.
You know, that's how it always should be. You know.
Right, but every horse is different size, so.
That's why
we'll talk about
that
later. We'll talk about that later. Focus on this pattern first.
Okay.
So we're here. You're gonna practice trotting this line.
Yeah,
and then back.
Get the butt lined up.
This is the challenge. Yep. So when I do patterns like this, I'm always looking, does my exhibitor know how to judge this line? How to judge that line, right? So I'm telling you guys, practice this, set a cone here until you can back to that cone evenly all the time. Okay? Then set a cone here until you can back that evenly every time. And then set a cone here until you can back that evenly every time. And then set a cone at your judge. And that's how you're gonna learn spatial distance. All right? This is an eye training exercise. Yeah, so you have a big Huntsy horse, 2 lengths would be way bigger than a little pleasure horse. Yep.
Yeah, so that's so hard to know.
Yep. So
Peanut would be 50 steps.
Yeah.
And Marley would be 10 steps. It's so hard to know.
Yep. So then what you would do sitting here, all right? So sitting here like this, my best advice to you is to set a cone here in the middle. You have a cone here. You have a cone here, and this is the same type of pattern that we do at the Congress, same way I practice at the Congress. You have a cone here, all right? What I want you to do as an exhibitor is you're standing at cone A, you're here at A, all right? You're gonna look out here first with your eyes. So I want you to draw this here, then you're gonna go this way with your eyes and draw this right there.
So up.
So you're going to go here, then you're going to look at your judge. The judge will be there in the class. So these are landmarks that will be there. Get used to being able to figure out where's halfway. All right? It's hard to tell where halfway is going to be if you just look down this line. You just look straight ahead. It's kind of hard to tell. But if you have this line to help you out,
I guess so.
With your judge, right? You have your judge to draw a cross on. So I'm always going to look out, and then my eyes are going to go back over here, and then I'm going to try to draw that line across. Right? That gives me a frame of reference to learn where is this right here, right? Because that's going to be where I'm backing to. And then I just put a little mark in the dirt right there.
Right.
Right? Put a mark in the dirt with my eyes.
Right.
Right? When I set this pattern up at home, I'm not going to make it that challenging on myself. I'm going to go and I'm going to have my exhibitors, and we'll probably do this on video. I'm going to say to Macey, okay, we got a cone here. We got a cone here. We got a cone here as a judge. I'm going to give her a cone. Okay. You're going to walk out in the arena until you feel the halfway point. Okay. Set the cone down. Put the cone down.
We could do this tonight for our video.
We could do this tonight.
You guys want us to go live again?
Yep. Put the cone, drop the cone.
Okay.
And then trace your steps back. Walk back. 1, 2. Oops, 2 right.
Crap, I suck at. Me too.
Yep. Walk that back. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Back to
and
the
this
start.
will be the same for even when you show.
Yeah.
See, like that's what I was running into. So I practiced it at home, and then I go to the horse show and I'm like, it was 8 steps. And I'm like, halfway in the arena.
No. You're thinking in terms of the raw steps. I'm just telling you to learn how to judge spaces.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is walk back and say, was it like, put your toe to toe. How many feet was it back to the cone?
Okay.
Is it the same out here?
Okay.
So that you learn to train your eye to feel the middle of a pattern. Because one of the biggest challenges, the next step up, and that's why this is the open or the not novice, is because this is a skill that a rider has to acquire, right? When does your shoulder pass a point? You see all those yeses that say you want to. Yes, without looking. I want to see you right here. Feel when that and say now, right? And have your ground person tell you yes or no, right? So as you trot this line, you come across here, and you're trotting this, and you go now, and then keep going, and then your ring steward that's helping you can go yes, you are directly on line, right? And yeah, Jennifer, it's the geometry. You're learning geometry.
So when you back this back, you stop with their hinds at the judge?
Yes. Yep, when you go to do this backup, you're going to stop with your hinds right there. Okay. And Dawn, that's a great point. Hopefully the judge is standing in the middle. And that's why I'm telling you guys, I'm giving you 2 strategies here. 1 is how to do this pattern. 2, more importantly, is how to do any pattern. That you always can feel when you pass something to the side. That's why I'm saying when you start learning how to feel, I probably have my exhibitors, and we can set it up tonight and I'll show you guys. I put a cone that's kind of bright. I'll put a cone here. You tell me when you feel yourself pass that, because you can see it. And then I'm going to put a cone out here, and you tell me when you pass that.
It's hard not to do like
one of these. And then I'm going to put a cone here, and you tell me when you pass that. And I'm going to put a cone out here, and you tell me when you pass that. I'm going to put a cone out here, and you tell me when you pass that. And I'm going to put a cone out here, and you tell me when you pass that. So this is increasing degree of difficulty as you go down this line, right? This one's easy. This one's harder. This one's harder. This one's harder still. This one's harder yet. This one's the hardest. So learning that scale is a skill that a rider's got to have.
Yep.
Don't cheat.
Great idea.
Don't cheat. Put a little marker in the ground. Yeah.
My trainer on purpose didn't stay in the middle sometimes. Oh.
And I actually saw that, and I don't know what the rules were, and I didn't see the pattern set up, but I did see someone doing a pattern for Charlie's show, and they had cones sitting on the outside of the arena. And those cones just so happened to be where they should be coming through.
I know, it's always
but
so
they
funny.
were like outside. They were just like against the rail. Like they were just like tossed to the side.
Yeah.
So, questionable.
It's always funny like when you see like those patterns and the trainers are standing like at the marker you're supposed to be at. Mm-hmm. And it's the worst feeling when you go turn and they're like over here and you're over here.
And a lot of times like when you go to the Congress and stuff, those patterns have to be the same set, right? So we got to make sure that we can rake break and we got to make sure that we can set the patterns up. So sometimes what you'll find is like if this is the rail over here, you might find a red piece of tape right there.
Why?
Because that's how they're going to set the pattern up the next day. So they're going to put a red piece of tape on the wall where that judge should be straight across from.
I'm going to start looking for that. I mean, I don't show those classes. This is why I can't do this because it stresses me out. I'm like, I'm always so nervous. I'm a back turn, not even be in the same spot.
Yep. So you might find the night before the class, they're out there measuring this up and putting tape on the wall.
Cheer pumpkin eaters. Yeah, right? cheer pumpkin eaters.
So yeah.
Go cheer pumpkin eater. Had a wife and...
I don't know that. No, I have no idea.
Do you guys know that one? It's like cheater, pumpkin eater. Maybe it was just like elementary school, middle school thing.
You went to a different school than I did. So we're here, all right? So again, transition, so same rules apply. The only added skill here is, can you back into line with a judge?
I'm actually going to start looking for that stuff, the red tape and stuff.
I got you guys.
Did they have the red tape and all the stuff?
At Congress.
Okay.
Yep, and that's why I knew where to set the pattern up. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to stand right here because that's the red tape. And I don't know why everyone's practicing down at that end of the arena. Doesn't make any sense. Everybody's practicing out in the warm-up pen, and I'm like, I'm set where the pattern is going to be. I guess we'll walk this out and get a feel for how big they're going to be able to set based on how wide the arena is.
Right.
Very easy.
Give me a few shots for the showmanship guys. That'll be great.
At Penn and World in Arena 3 in the Coliseum, we use the flags that hang from the ceiling from the center. Yeah, see? There's little things, and the people setting up the pattern are going to have to do the same thing.
But like, see, it's so hard. Like, you keep the flags, but it'd be so hard to trot and be like, where am I?
Peter couldn't eat her, had a wife and couldn't keep her. There you go.
I thought it was couldn't eat her.
I love showmanship, but I'm going to look for that tape. Yeah, you'd be shocked. At big shows.
Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife and couldn't keep her.
Put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well.
Wow. See, I've heard a lot of different ones. It's like Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife.
Dawn knows like the advanced version.
You do.
Okay, so
I love all those little rhymes.
Same pattern, right? Same maneuvers that we're looking for, right? Nothing new here again. So use that same technique that we talked about. It's all about the transitions, right? And then the only added skill, is this one right here. Can you back in line with a judge with a point? That's the skill. That's gonna be your make or break. If you can back in line to a point.
So much credit if they can do that.
I try to do something, but can't run fast enough for legs. Longer steps.
She does have long legs.
Long steps. All right. So that's always the thing I tell people is stretch and be long with your stride, because you can have short legs and take long steps.
Yeah.
Take a long step for your stride.
It's so hard figuring out how to run a showmanship. I still haven't conquered
Toes
it.
up.
He was like, well, let's just try running a showmanship with Peanut, and I just can't figure out how to run.
The deeper the dirt, the higher your toes have to be. The more you have to be on your heels.
Well,
Don't get on your toes.
It's hard because I don't know if you have to lean forward or lean back, or I just feel weird trotting. I gotta get comfortable trotting. I need to try to run the house more. I think it's because when you try, you kind of have to squat down. Because you have to pick your toes up,
Yeah, you gotta pick your toes up. That's
that kind of already squats you down if you have to pick your toes up.
Yep.
So it's such an awkward run.
I don't like seeing the moon bounce, but it happens.
Well, when it's that deep of dirt, you almost have to.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
No, I don't like, what's that called? What was it called?
The moon bounce, the duck run.
Bounce. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of that either. But you almost have to when you're
carry tray drinks at home to practice. Yep. Carry tray drinks or
the chicken trot. I just feel like I do feel like a chicken when I trot.
Yep. So we tell people all the time, we put glasses in their hand, like solo cups, fill them up to the top with water, and then you'll know if your hands are doing this because you'll be wet, you'll be splashed. And the mission is to finish this pattern with as much water in your cups as possible. Learn to do your transitions and stay in the same place.
Yeah, I remember me and Sam did that.
Yep. Yeah, you guys did a lot.
Yeah, if you guys are on a Patreon page, you can go all the way down.
We were practicing the Pinner World patterns. LOL, this pattern, yeah. So here we're gonna walk.
Would you like a piece of gum?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna get.
You're gonna chomp gum on camera.
Would you guys like a piece of gum?
You're gonna chomp gum on camera, really?
Or I'm gonna get something like a mint or something.
Okay.
Would you guys like a mint?
So we're here. This one's gonna test lots of different things, right? Did the water exercise mean the winner? Yeah, awesome. So just easy, standard, walk past. A challenge here, small challenge, but not a huge deal. Make sure you walk far enough that you give your horse room to pivot around, that you don't end up too far away. Now, the further you end up away, the easier this turn's gonna be through here, right? So I always tell people, 6 years of marching band turn, yeah, exactly. I always tell people, do I wanna see you stay tight to this cone? Yeah, absolutely. But if your horse doesn't if your horse doesn't take easy, tight left turns, right? So the strategy I gave you guys.
So we did yesterday with Enzo, right?
Bingo. So the advantage I gave you guys was that get your horse ahead of you, push him forward right here. If his shoulder's even with your shoulder, you make this turn really easy.
Right.
All right? If his throat latch or his halter is even with your hand, when you're coming in right here, you are in trouble. You are guaranteed he's going to pull you out wide into this line when you're coming around that corner. I guarantee you, if your horse's halter ring, right? If your chain is coming straight out to him and he's not ahead of you, I guarantee you when you come out wide, he's going to come like this. He's going to pull you out wide. You're going to be dragging him through this corner. Right. So I want you to turn your hand over and drive your horse around that corner. So you come around, you're trotting here, slide him forward and turn your hand over. And that's going to pull him up and around you to make a really crisp turn right here. Right? The crisper the turn right here, the more points you're going to get. Right? This is a very challenging part of this maneuver. Because patterns are like snowballs. Okay? You are a rolling snowball as you run through this pattern. The more momentum you gain, the little mistakes you make back here are going to make further pieces. I can do better. The mistake you make right here hurts you badly up here. All right? So if you end up where you go too far past this cone, or you don't go far enough, you've made this line crooked. If this line is crooked, then this is harder to do.
I think the hardest thing about this pattern, because I remember doing showmanship when I was really young, and we used to have patterns like this, is come around C, and not like knowing if you turn tight or if you kind of swing wide with that.
And doing that all the way to the judge?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like swing around really tight, and then I'm like, oh shoot, and then you gotta get back in line. Or you swing on really wide, and you're like, oh shoot, I gotta get back over here.
Yep.
So I think that's the hardest thing.
Ideally, a horse and rider that does this with the highest degree of difficulty, their leg or their shoulder passes right next to C. Okay? That's the highest degree of difficulty. If you and your horse are not that skilled at showmanship yet, so say you're a greener or you're not as broke in showmanship, you're going to have to be further away. The further away you are, this is a shorter turn, right? It's not nowhere near as sharp as this. So see the difference in that? Right? This is a loop. This is a corner.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're talking about the radius that you make right here or right here. Tighter radius, higher degree of difficulty, more points are on that corner.
Right.
All right? So also the tighter the turn, right? The tighter you make that, the harder this line's going to be. All right? So if you come through and you turn around here tight and your horse swings wide, all right? Remember, as the judge, I'm standing here, so I have a really good view of how your horse comes down this line. If your horse swings wide, and this is a problem that most people are going to make, they're going to come through here, they're going to swing too wide because their horse doesn't stay up with them.
Yeah, then you got to come back in.
And then they got to loop back in, and then they're going to come out here. And again, so we talked about how long you actually spend going straight. You're only going to be straight from here to here. This is the only time that you actually spend going straight. All right? So the longer you can stay straight down this line, the more points you get for me, right? If you can stay straighter longer, you're going to get way more points. And that's what I'm watching for in this pattern, all right? Another tricky spot for this pattern, because you're stopping before the judge, giving yourself room to do a 180, back to the judge and set up.
Stop before the judge, do a 180. Wait, read this.
You're going to trot 2 and around C.
Trot 2 around.
Stop 2 lengths.
From the judge. So, what's 2 horse lengths from the judge?
So you're going to have to come here, right? You're going to do a 180. You're going to back to the judge.
Oh, back to the judge, okay.
And set up.
Use a tighter on C versus Y period. Which would you prefer as a judge, cleaner or height?
Give me the highest degree of difficulty that you can do cleanly.
But yeah, you and your horse can do cleanly. Like Enzo could really easily make that really tight turn. Like he probably could almost make it too tight.
Mm-hmm.
But one Peanut and stuff, like she's gonna be a little bit loopier, you know.
So you have to play into.
It depends on your style too.
I was just gonna say you have to play into your style and your horse's style.
Like mine would be really loopy.
Yep. So I have seen patterns that are beautiful.
Would be super tight.
I have seen patterns that are beautifully executed, that are just ultra clean. No bobbles, no mistakes, nothing that I don't like about it. And those patterns are going to do really well. Someone's camera's going down, yeah. Those patterns do really well because you have to keep in mind, if we're looking at this, oops, too far. If you're looking at the scorecard and we go, okay, we're doing these maneuvers and we're going through and we're like, okay,
You can't make that bigger for some reason, can you?
No, but I can over here. So
Okay.
we're going to cut this.
I think it depends. Like, if I were to do showmanship and if Jeremy were to do showmanship, mine would be super loopy and just kind of flowy. But yours would be really tight and
That's my style.
Boom, 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 boom.
So if you have a horse who's really clean, right, and you're just correct everywhere, maybe you're not driving hard and really pushing for that. Like you see some people do showmanship and they're like, just insane.
I'm always like,
and they're running. Yeah. And we're like, wow, that's impressive. That's a 3.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
really
3.
impressive.
There's a 3, but we really messed that one up. That's a -2. That's a 1. There's a 0, right? What does this add up to? 9 minus 2, 7 plus 1, 8. All right? So here's 78 as your finished score.
Ready.
Okay, that was a weird way of doing 8, wasn't it?
That was like, where are you going with that one?
There's a 78. Now we have the same person that comes through, and they're just clean everywhere. So we get a 1, we get a 2, we get a 1, we get a 2, we get a 0, we get a 2. So that's 8, there's 78. I can do better 8. I promise. I promise I know how to write. So there's a 78 also. Super clean versus driving hard, making some bobbles.
Yeah. I don't know what I like better. Like some of those patterns are just what do you guys like? Do you guys like the really fast, hard ones?
And say this person didn't pick up a 0 here. Say they got a 1. They got 79. You won. You beat that.
Then you beat that. Yeah, it's so hard to know.
Yep. You get a 1 here.
What do you prefer? Do you like them really, really tight and like drive, or do you like one that's more like safer?
What I personally prefer is I want to see someone who can do a pattern as aggressively as possible given their horse. If you are overriding your horse because you aren't paying attention to the other half of your team, then you're no good to me. Okay. Right? So that's not being a horseman. Yeah, I love sharp and fast if you do it without errors. Exactly. So given 2 patterns, given a pattern that played it safe and made no errors versus a sharp and fast pattern that made no errors, sharp and fast is going to win. Right? So go as fast and as sharp as you can without making errors. If you're going fast and sharp and you go to trot off and your horse is scared of you, big deduction for me. Right? That's beating your horse through showmanship. Yeah. That's not a horse and exhibitor that's pleasant and soft to watch. I want a soft presentation that flows.
I love the ones that don't like the aggressive ones.
Bingo.
Yeah, see,
Bingo.
I agree with you guys. Like,
yes.
I watch showmanship patterns. I'm like, ooh, like that horse was just scared of you.
Yep.
And like, I would be scared of you.
Yep. And Raquel's got the right idea. You have to be clean and correct before you can be aggressive. Accuracy, then speed. Right? That's what I tell my exhibitors. Accuracy first, then speed.
Yeah.
Do this pattern at home until you can be accurate with all of your markers and you are spot on with everything that you're trying to do. So get this to where you can come out here and go, well, that was pretty good, 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 that was pretty good. Right? That was pretty good, that was pretty good. We got a 78.
I don't know about your writing lately.
It's hard to draw with a mouse. 78, okay? If I come through here and we go 1 and then, okay, we're going to add some difficulty here and we're going to go 2, and we're going to okay, we did 2 here, we get a 1 there, we get a 2 here, we're looking at an 80.
Yeah. I mean, I like the push ones, but I think it depends on how your horse is. Like,
look at that 8 is.
It's a good 8.
That's a good 8. Yeah, so my showmanship horse needs to be a little scared of me. Absolutely. Absolutely. They got to be very respectful of your space. We saw that with Enzo yesterday. Enzo went from being both ends of the spectrum, right? Not afraid of me at all, pushing in my space, being naughty, and then a little bit afraid of me.
Yep.
And I like him a little bit edgy. I want my showmanship horse to be a little bit edgy. Like I said yesterday, good showmanship takes your breath away.
Yeah, I don't like it when they're edgy. I get really nervous.
Good showmanship takes your breath away. And that being said, when you come out here, if this was the world show, right? If I'm going along.
I always thought I showmanship dance.
Jen can waltz and can't do hip hop, so there you go. Yeah. So yeah, showmanship absolutely is a dance.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have 2 dance partners, you have one who's an expert, so this is going to be our exhibitors, and we have a horse who's green. The expert has to come down to the green horse's level, right? So I'm teaching Enzo. I know what Congress champion showmanship looks and feels like, but I had to come down to Enzo's level, and I had to meet him down here because this makes for a pretty waltz, right? This makes for a pretty dance together.
Yeah, I still think it depends on your horse, like in your like the person's personality.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like that's the hardest thing about like showmanship is that you can judge it so differently because there's so many girls out there that are so like confident and aggressive and their horses are confident and aggressive and look so good, but then you have girls that are like, no, you know, I like showmanship, and they take it slower and the horse takes it slower, and like that still is like super gorgeous, you know?
So what I tell people all the time is you have to take into account your personality, right? And you're just like outside of horses, completely outside of horses. What is your personality? If you have a big, loud, like if your personality is just big, you got to show that way. You got to show that off. If I have someone, and I've had exhibitors that are just kind of quiet and reserved, right? They just kind of sit like this. They don't like to say a lot. They keep their voice quiet. Then I'm going to teach that exhibitor how to do a clean pattern.
A clean pattern, yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So, and some people step outside their comfort zone when they get in the show pen and they can do aggressive patterns, but play to your strengths. Play to your horse's strengths. And like Sandy said, some horses can handle the pressure of sharp, some can't. So you have to play that into your horse, right? Because an expert and a beginner, if the experts out there doing flips and turns and the beginner's like just lost going, I don't know what to do, that doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't
right?
look good.
So you got to come down to your horse, you got to bring yourself up together, right? It's the ability of the team, right? So you go as fast as you can do it accurately, because that's the degree of difficulty. Accuracy first, speed second, okay? So tricky parts of this pattern, giving yourself enough space through here to make this line really good. This corner is very difficult, and then judging space, again, so the ability to judge space. Can you back and back straight and give yourself space? Right? Rest of the pattern pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Okay. So the ability to navigate a pattern is huge. So if I'm standing here at this cone, keys to my success, I gotta know how far out, draw a line out here. How far out do I need to go? This is where my feet have to stop in order to make this turn and come onto this line well.
Right.
This line right here is gonna define your pattern.
Right.
This is the key to this pattern. So if we're gonna say the one thing that you have to make sure that you are very accurate about is that line right there.
Right.
Because where you put your horse, where you end up in the arena, determines the ability of this maneuver, determines the ability of this maneuver, determines the ability of this line, right? If you are still recovering down this line, there's probably little chance you're gonna be able to make this complicated series right here, right? So again, technicalities, right? You got a big open area, because this pattern's gonna have to be set pretty big.
It's a big pattern.
It's gonna have to be a big pattern, right? You're gonna use all of your arena, okay? So we're talking like an 80, 60 foot span across there. It's a lot of trotting. So as the judge standing right here, I have plenty of time to evaluate, okay, what does your showmanship look like, right? What is your exhibitor right here? What does your showmanship look like on that line and this line? So you see here in this type of pattern, I have both. I have a tight technical section right here. Okay, so we'll do it like this. This will be our happy fun line right here. This is happy fun showmanship. I want to see free, I want to see flowy, I want to see pleasant picture, right? I want to evaluate you as a showman. So this part is on you. So blue, you, not your horse, all right?
Yep.
This part, right through here, this is where things really heat up. So things get hot through here. So now, whoops, I took out my you. So when we come through here, this section is all on how well do you guys dance together, right? Can you guys be accurate and tight and crisp and do a lot of things in a little bit of area? Stop, turn, back, turn, stop, stop. And then quiet things back down to walk out. Right? So if we just do this in terms of intensity, right? This pattern heats up as it goes. And then it gets like red hot down here.
It's on fire.
This pattern, this part of the pattern
you're cool.
is on fire.
What's that game you play when you cover your eyes and you're like cold, warm, fire, burning?
You play a lot of games. You played a lot of games as a child.
Are you making fun?
I grew up in the country. We had to just play with ourselves.
Did you guys ever play that, like where you would hit something and then you would like, you're cold, you're hot, you're on fire, you're on fire.
Warmer. Yeah. Hot, cold. Yeah, warmer.
Yeah.
Yes,
you make it fun.
yes.
Jeremy.
Yeah, we played that.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, so this part of the pattern is very hot, right? This part of the pattern is very technical. It's very much, are you and your horse broke together? This is how well you dance. This is how pretty you are.
Yeah.
Okay? So technical section, where I'm judging how broke are you and your horse.
Will we do this with a horse tonight, or?
Just exhibitor, most likely.
Oh, we can bring Peanut out. I'll do it, Peanut.
Yeah. So how broke is your horse for this section? How pretty are you in showmanship through this section? Yeah. And that's why, and now you see, when I pick these patterns, these are the different things that I'm looking at, right? When I pick patterns and I say, okay, on here, I'm gonna be able to judge my exhibitor. On here, I'm judging my horse.
Right.
Okay, so this section on your horse, on you, this section on your horse.
Right.
Okay, gotta have both.
Yep.
All right, and that's what separates the men from the boys, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Good. So a little bit of an insider look as to how I break down patterns, right? Whenever you look at a pattern, determine what is the judge trying to see in this pattern, all right? If I have a harder class, I'm gonna add more elements. Right? Because this takes more elements of an exhibitor. One, are you and your horse a good team? Can you do lots of transitions in a small area? Are you good at judging distance? Right? Are you good at straight lines? Because I'm going to see a straight line through here. All right? So as soon as we turn the corner right here, when we come into this, you better be bringing your A game. Because this is where things are really going to heat up after that corner. Right? And like, I don't know if other judges go into as much depth when they pick patterns. But I mean, it took me a couple hours to pick patterns because I was like, okay, what? And it's hard because I don't know the degree of difficulty that I'm gonna see, right? the level of show, because it's an online show, so you got people that are really good and people that are just starting, right? So this pattern is really going to separate people, right? But this is the open, so as a trainer, I don't get to do showmanship ever. Right. So for open, to me, is going to be trainer level showmanship, right? This is going to be our best of the best are going to be in this class. So I want to see bring your best, right? And I'm gonna put a pattern out there that's going to separate the men from the boys a little bit.
Right.
Yep.
Want to do the Western riding pattern?
Yep.
And then we can go live tonight after the after this, and you guys can see how I break it down in person.
Yep.
That'd be really good.
Absolutely. Cool. Very good. So we'll go here. Where did this come from? Here. Equitation. We're gonna have to do these tomorrow. Yeah. Most likely. Let's do that. Let's leave it at showmanship for right now.
Yeah, and then we can go do that tonight.
Yep. And we'll do the showmanship, and then tomorrow we'll go over the riding stuff.
And then we can do the riding, breaking it down as the rider and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yep, that'll
sound good to you?
Otherwise, we're gonna get into here's the things you gotta do for horsemanship, and it's gonna be an unfocused video.
Yeah, let's do that, and they can watch this and then watch the video tonight.
And it's already noon. We spent an hour and a half on that already.
Oh my goodness.
Time flies, right?
It does.
Does that help you guys? Did everybody take something away from that?
Yeah. And
hopefully.
If you guys want to watch that tonight, we can do it how you break it down in person, so you guys can.
Yep. We'll go live from the barn, and we'll set some cones up, and we'll kind of teach Macey how to do these patterns.
No.
Maybe we'll teach Kelly how to do these patterns.
I'm gonna wear my PJ pants. Just kidding.
Yep. Awesome.
Just thank you. Yay, that'd be awesome.
So hopefully,
if Peanut's being a good girl, then maybe we can do it with the horse. We can. I mean, she's not gonna stick a pivot and all that stuff.
See, they can't wait to see you do showmanship.
Oh my goodness.
So hopefully that gives you a little bit different outlook,
a
little different outlook as to how, me as a trainer and a judge, how I'm gonna evaluate patterns, how I'm gonna look at things, and then you as an exhibitor, how a judge would see a pattern like this and what I want to see. Right? Very good.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Awesome.
Let's do that.
Perfect.
I gotta go take a nap and get ready.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta put real pants on. Look, I'm in my PJs too.
Me too. Oh.
You have pants on. There you go. We're both in our PJs. Thank you for joining us in your PJs here.
Thank you.
Shows good practice for your modeling. Exactly.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Do my walk.
Exactly. Think I have short legs and arms. How I've been told to have more pace to walk. Longer steps. So power walk. Stretch your walk. Stretch your walk. How much setup time do I like to see or not see? Again, it's got to flow with your pattern, right? So it's got to be, and wear your comfy shoes. It's got to be, if your pattern is hard and fast and aggressive and your setup is slow, it doesn't match, all right? So again, when you go, absolutely, Donna, this will be available on Facebook. You can watch it again and again and again. It's on YouTube. You can share that link with everybody. We're here live every day through quarantine. I think it's day 25, I think.
We missed 2 days, I think, and we were like,
We took a weekend off.
Yeah, the weekend off for my exams.
Yep. So then, when you set this pattern up at home, again, without your horse, set a metronome. If you're not moving a foot to every beat, if a foot's not actively moving, whether it's you or your horse, then you've got work to do.
Pretty sure.
Okay? So if you're out there and you're hard and fast through everything, and then you go to your setup and it's like this, it's going to stand out to me.
Yeah.
All right? The biggest thing, if a piece stands out, if it catches my eye, I'm going to go, ooh, good or bad? Right? It catches my eye because it's good, or catches my eye because it's bad? Right? So if you just come out there and you put together a clean run, you +1 everything, you're going to find yourself doing pretty well.
Yep.
But if you go out there and you don't, not only do you not +1 it because your setup took too long, but you -3 it, that's a 4-point difference. It's a 4-point swing. You can't get 4 points anywhere in a pattern. Right? There's no +4. Right? You go back to that score sheet, there's no +4. Right?
Shut it down.
You're in shut it down mode. Yeah, you got to go back through and fix that. Yep. And that's the advantage of the videos. You can shut it down and start over. You go cut. Shut it down. We're gonna
get a horse show one day. People be like, "Shut it down." Be like, I know where that came from.
Yep. We're gonna be loping down the rail and someone's gonna whisper to us, "Shut it down." And be like, "Oh no."
Oh no.
Yep. So there's no +4 on here. So if you're at 4-point swing, someone -2's that, another person +2's it. That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So, all right, Mason needs to take a nap. We're gonna get off here, and then we'll demonstrate how to take longer steps with short arms and legs. Right?
I'll shake my legs.
it's just longer, quicker steps. You got to hurry your pace up. You don't have to have big legs to do that. No. You have to have long legs to cover more ground. Okay, and we demonstrated that in a clinic. We had someone that was really short. She was like, "Well, I can't do showmanship like that." You can. You just gotta move faster.
Move a little faster. Yep, for sure.
Just like hurry your pace up. Yep, absolutely. So she said, "Yeah, have more pace at the walk." And it's just make your strides come faster. Yep, which has nothing to do with the length of your legs. Right. Yep, absolutely.
You're welcome.
Very good.
You'll be tonight around probably 5 to 10, somewhere between that time.
Most likely 6, but we'll
7.
see.
Yeah.
Depending on the weather. It was nasty. It was supposed to be super windy. So the new mic, Apple told me, comes tomorrow. Shipping is a struggle.
But it's coming today, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh.
Shipping is a struggle in the quarantine age.
It is bad.
So hopefully we'll get that as soon as possible. We can get back outside and do that stuff without a bunch of wind noise. Because we even had wind noise yesterday, standing in the doorway.
We did?
Yeah. I went back and watched the video about it. Yeah.
No good.
No good. We don't like it.
No good.
We want to make this as good as possible for you guys.
Yes.
So if you like this video, if this helped you, feel free to follow us on LaRose Show Horses on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I cannot add more friends on Facebook. I'm at 5,000 limit. All right. So if I go here, we might be able to sneak someone in now. It's been like a day or two since I checked it. So I want to respond to your friend requests. I promise. I want to be your friends. Right. So if I come through here and I go, okay, Jessica wants to be my friend. Oops.
74 here in Oklahoma. Sorry.
This is what I come up with. You can have up to 5,000 friends on Facebook. You'll need to remove someone before you can add someone new. So I have lots of friend requests that
I
cannot get to. So make sure you follow us. It's the best I can do. I can't add you anymore. But you can follow us on Facebook, LaRose Show Horses. If you like this video, it will be available also on YouTube, LSH Live. And then we have our Patreon site on top.
Yep.
And these will be up here. Okay? So there we have it. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. I hope this helps. We have 131 people on Patreon. We love having you guys on there. 132?
Yeah, so we're super close to our 150 mark.
Yep.
And then we're going to do the giveaway of Spurs. So
the Patreon page link is above us over there. So if you like these videos, if you want to see more, if you want to support this stream, I know, I want to be all of your friends. I know. Absolutely. Then feel free to support us on Patreon. That would be awesome. Yay! Again, yeah, so Sandy, she got the right idea. Today's the 30th. Don't subscribe today. Save yourself some money, subscribe tomorrow. Yep. And at 150, we're going to do a custom set of Spurs from Harris.
Yep.
So
with your name on them,
we'll do a giveaway.
Or whatever you want on them, and then we'll put LSH Live in the middle.
Yep, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
We'll see you guys later.
Have a great day, guys. This has been fun. We'll do this more often. And we'll be on the couch. We'll be doing through all this stuff.
Thank you for your information. Thank you for every day. Yay!
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes, stay safe out there, guys. We'll see you very, very soon.
Stay safe. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are around the world.
Yes.
We'll see you in the next one.